Hi friends. If you click to check out my part of the Tiny Marvel Mavens collab for Sydney Grace and Mel Thompson, then please keep on watching. Hi, I'm Alicia. If it's your first time here, if you are in fact visiting from another collab video, well, welcome. And if you are returning, well, thank you, friend, for coming again. Kinky Sweat stands for my kinky hair and sweat life. I am a fitness professional who loves things all movement and beauty. If you want to check out what I do in between the makeup, so head over to my Instagram. A huge thank you to Lisa J for coming up with this concept. She thought it would be helpful that several of us would showcase the different combinations in the new Sydney Grace and Mel Thompson Tiny Marvels eyeshadow palette. First of all, a huge congratulations to Mel Thompson. This, I could even imagine, to have a creative outlet such as an eyeshadow palette, and Mel has been on YouTube for a very long time. She has one of the most beautiful eyeshadow looks that I have seen. Her technique is flawless, and it's so great to see a creator finally dive into a makeup item that very much aligns with the makeup items that they love to use the most. And I know for sure because Mel loves eyeshadow much like I do. Now, full disclaimer, I did not try this palette yet because I was planning to film a video with this palette, but Lisa J reached out to not only myself but to several others, Michelle Wong, Glam Girl Chelsea, and also Kelsey Brianna J, to see if we wanted to film with this palette, and I was like, well, sure. So this is my first time diving into this palette. I was assigned 2 quads, but this is not the first time I am using Sydney Grace. I have plenty of their videos on my channel. If you want to check those out, I will link them up above and down below in the playlist. Lisa J, I mean, if you do not know who Lisa J is, hello. Not only is she founder and CEO of BK Beauty, but she gives outstanding reviews and also has been on YouTube for quite some time. Michelle Wong is my luxe babe. I mean, she's been reviewing luxury makeup for, I feel like, forever, and she's like my New York bud for life. Glam Girl Chelsea, which I will forever consider my Pat McGrath concealer bud. That is the product that we connected on, and ever since then we became really great friends. And not only that, she is an amazing creator and has outstanding reviews on her channel as well. And no other than Kelsey Brianna J, KBJ Productions, who her brain is always just rolling on fire, and she is such a creative person, not only with her videos but with concepts, and it's always great to have her on collabs because not only is she great in putting together treatments for those involved, but she's also just the best. Quarantine has definitely brought us together closer, and delighted that she is in my life in a virtual way. I'll take it, Kelsey. With that said, I have the palette. Look at our Mel. Hi, Mel. I'm so excited to announce my very first eyeshadow palette collaboration with Sydney Grace. I present to you Tiny Marvels. I am a long time lover of tiny creatures, tattoos, colorful creations, and of course, makeup. I wanted to be able to bring all these worlds together to create the most marvelous palette. The shades in my palette are based on the colors and tiny critters that I have tattooed on my body. I selected an array of neutral nudes, pops of pastel, and vivid splashes of color. I hope these tiny marvels bring you as much joy as they do me. This palette is my vision. Now make it yours. This palette is exclusively sold on SydneyGraceCode.com. Costs $52, 15 shades, and is total net weight of 30 grams. So because I'm really good at super basic math, that equals to 2 grams a shadow pan. That's a lot of product. And again, I hope this collab also kind of presents to you an array of techniques and eyeshadow combinations, because when you see this palette, you see that there's a lot going on, but I'm really happy to say that I think we'll be able to present different ways you can combine these shadows and feel confident in doing so, and know that you don't have to stick to one combination. You can just go nuts. But here are the shades, and I have this quad as well as this quad. I'm really happy because this quad is like woodsy, woodland, fairy vibe, and then you head over to this side and you got that pastel, spring-like color vibe. So I feel like these are 2 ends of the spectrum that I feel really nice that are together, and I cannot wait to show you these looks. So with that said, why don't you come in a little closer? That's enough. Well, actually, this is better. What am I saying? Let me start off with the Kaleidos Tone Activator Eye Primer. I've been using this interchangeably with my Hourglass. And as you know, I like to do 2 different looks at the same time. So one eye will be the Woodland L5. And the other side will be the springtime L5. We got two elves in my eyes. Fairies, elves, you know, either work. All right, how is that looking? Let's start with this quad here. We're looking at Mantis, Death Moth, Bugaboo, and Meadow Hawk. Mantis, ooh, Death Moth, that's a really pretty taupe. Meadow Hawk, ooh, what a beautiful, it's almost like a copper rose gold. Isn't that just gorgeous? And Bugaboo, wow, that is a lovely, just deep, rich maroon. Now let's get into Flutterby. Flutter, yes. Peachy, ooh. Actually, that I told a little bit of a lie. I did try this palette briefly when I received it in the mail. I didn't do like a full-on use all the shadows on that night. However, I did apply this as a blush. And it's beautiful. So I'm gonna do that in this tutorial. Jewel B, this, oh, look at this beautiful pastel lavender. BB, zzz, ooh, hello, yellow gold. And lastly, we have Marvel. That is beautifully shiny. My goodness, look at that. I know I have the light here. These mattes, I mean, Sydney Grace has a long-standing reputation for providing, it's just sublime mattes. I think they're very easy to blend and they are just, oh, the best. I think I might want to do Mantis as my lower lash line spotlight and then use Death Moth and Bugaboo at the top. How about that? A huge thank you to Bristles Beauty for sending me their brushes. I will have all those details down below. I still am going to film a dedicated video showcasing each brush and what I've been using them for. So let's go in with Death Moth. I'm gonna pull that through the crease. And I love this color as like the everyday, you know, give the crease a little bit of contour, not too much. And I think the coolness of the shade is perfect for photography, or again, you just need to add a little bit of shade to your crease. And that by itself is so pretty. All over the lid and lower lash line, that's like look number one. Look number one, you're done. Taking Bugaboo. This is the Bristles Beauty EO2RL. Is that the official name? Tappity tap tap. These brushes are dirty because I put them through the ringer yesterday. I filmed a lot of B-roll, but I'm happy that you guys can see another opportunity using them with the Mel palette. Pulling that through the crease. Next, we have Meadow Hawk with my Smith 253. And I'm pushing that on and under the crease. And using the tip of the brush to precisely feather that on the crease. There's like a gold shift in Meadow Hawk that is so beautiful. Again, it's like a rose gold, but it leans more copper. It's so pretty. Tapping on a little bit of Bugaboo on the seam just so that can create a smoother transition. You can stop here, place Death Moth on the lower lash line, Bugaboo on the lower lash line, or we could take Mantis or Masoniji Worker 3 and tap that right on the lower lash line. Now this is a very fluffy brush. If you want a more precise placement of color, I would use then a smaller brush. Bristles EO3, this is much like a Refer 13 or Hakuhodo brush in terms of the shape, but I feel very useful when you want to get more precise there on the lower lash line. Refer number 3 and just tapping that shade. Because pastels are a little tricky, I find that to get the most color intensity is better to tap on the shadow versus sweep it on. So to get a little more color intensity, I'm doing just that. A brush that I really like from the Bristles line is the EO4. It's like a flat edge brush. I like that because I could get right on the waterline with that brush. And instead of using a liner, I could just use the powder to then color my waterline so it looks a little more seamless. Now, of course, you risk getting shadow on your contacts, but if I were carefully pulling down my lash line, it wouldn't have that casualty, and it's okay. I'm hopping over to Marvel the other quad, and I'm using a little bit of Marvel on the inner corner. I'm sorry, I'm tapping into someone else's quad that I'm using Web because I think Web is such a pretty satin shade because Mel loves her brow bone highlights, okay? Every time I skip the brow bone highlight, I feel like Mel will be so disappointed in me. Just feathering out the edges here of Death Moth. That is eye look number 1. For number 2, what should we do? I definitely want to experiment with Jewel Bee all over the lid and crease. Let's see what we can do with that. Taking E01. Actually, let me tap in E01. I know better. I'm gonna tap in Jewel Bee because since this is more pastel, I want to get more color impact. But instead of using a fluffy brush like this, perhaps I'll get a little more from using, let's say, my Sonicji Jumbo Blender. This is a thicker brush that's just going to pick up more product. Also, there we go. So I'm tapping on Jewel Bee. However, let me tap in Flutterby on the inner part of my eye. So it could be a nice smooth transition from peach to lavender. I think that's so pretty. I'm going in with more Jewel Bee here. Again, I want this to show. So friends, if you want full color impact from the more pastel neon shades, definitely tap on and not sweep on, because I don't think you'll get a wash of color if that's what you're looking for. But if you want more of a intense placement of color, definitely tap instead of sweep. Marvel. Oh, I don't know what it is about these pinky champagne shades. They are just so gorgeously perfect. So soft, but I don't know, they're so shiny. This shade in particular is very shiny. This is a little more subdued. This has like that duochrome gold reflect, but this just has like that brightness to it. Just pulling in a little more Jewel Bee over Marble. Tapping a little more Flutterby. What should we do on this lower lash line though? Well, I know I want to go in with BB. BB, that beautiful. Look at that yellow gold. Pulling it right under the lash line here. Taking it further in, maybe like 3/4 across. Marvel on the inner corner. Draping it over BB as well so it could create that really nice gradient. Jewel Bee now on the outer corner. And this, I will definitely use a more thicker brush. More thicker. Actually, I'm going to do my Tuckahoe T7. Kind of swish that lavender. Pulling in more Marvel. I could also I just want to see. I'm going to do Bugaboo with my T7 and just whisk it carefully over Marvel and into Jewel Bee. So I think this shade will add just a little bit of dimension, right? We're going by quad, but if you wanted to jump around, you know, you definitely have that option. There we go. Sweeping over, sweeping over. Now, I just wanted to show you what Flutterby looks like as a blush. Taking my Bristles F08 and Flutterby as a blush. Are you kidding me? It's so peachy coral perfect. Ooh, I forgot the brow bone. Hold on, see it? Look at me. Look at me. Because the matte textures are so smooth, putting on some Web. These shadows, I wouldn't even think twice. I knew that applying the shadow on my cheeks would just be perfect. And why not? I'm gonna put on some Web on my cheekbones. It's a little icy. I'll take it. I could always mix it, but it's good to know if I didn't have a highlight on standby that I could just use this for highlights. The Benjamin keep it thing. Definitely have to go in with Christian Deets and Mel Thompson's Collab and Smooches, and then in with her lipstick and beauty. All right, fam, let me apply some lashes and I'll be right back. So here's a close-up of both looks. We have the Woodland Elf eye, and we have the Springtime Fairy eye. And here's a look at the lids. Don't mind my just grossly applied lashes, please. And here's a wide shot of both looks. I hope this tutorial was helpful in providing some inspo with using these colors specifically, and I cannot wait to see the other looks from the crew. Again, a huge congratulations to Mel and this Sydney Grace collaboration. So if you're wondering how to apply the quads I used in this video, again, I hope I presented some guidance in you using those shades, and make sure you give the other ladies a visit. Tell them I said hi, friend. I will leave their channel and video links down below. And until then, fam, that is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to my channel. And until then, I'll see you in here again with another review, tutorial, mega palette collab, monthly favorites, or nightly life chit chat. Take care, and I will see you again soon.